This is the NFL Weekend Review Show on the Flex Network.
Going up, coming down, does he come down with it? Does Golden State have it? He's in the end zone, he has!
This is the Flex Network.
Unbelievable!
This is the
Romo
Flex
can't get the
Network.
spot down!
Flex on them.
Run Zeke. Up the middle, he's gone! Zeke's gone! Goodbye, Zeke! Touchdown! Short yardage, pinched in. The dogs got out.
Flex on them.
Brandon in the gun, third and 8. Crowd making noise. Manning 5 steps. Here comes the rush. Taco's got it. That's an Eli taco. Low snap. He picks it up. He looks. He stands. He rushes. Oh, he's up the middle. He's running up the middle. And boom!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Flex Network is back after its lovely Turkey Day and all this NFL action that went down this week. We're back for another edition of the NFL Week in Review Show. Normally, you'd see a three-man team here. Our boy Flex, Mike, is having some things done right now, so he's not able to join today, but you still got the man to my left, the man who represents Cowboy Nation with so much pride, even in a bad season and a horrible season. The man to my left, Cowboy Cam. Say what's up, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in. Prayers to Mike and his family, and let's continue to just have a great show. Everybody tune in here and let's rock out, man. Let's go.
Oh yeah. And you know me. It is the SnowMan taking over the hosting duties for today's Shizzo. But yeah, this has just been a very crazy Thanksgiving week for Week 12 here in the NFL. Man, we had a game postponed not once, not twice, 3 times it was moved. We had it done today, and it as we're coming on the air, me and Cowboy were talking before we came on the air. The game today that was supposed to be Thanksgiving night's cap game didn't seem like it was that, it seemed like it was a lot longer than what it was supposed to say the least. It had that feeling it was supposed to be a lot closer game, but it just was the score wise was just shorter than what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a lot of great things go down this week. A lot of craziness going down in the week that has been Week 12, aka Thanksgiving week. So let's get into it. I mean, we'll talk a little bit before we go and do the recap for the scores and everything. A lot of coaches, GMs getting the boot over the week. You want to speak on some of them getting the boot there, Cowboy?
Man, that's the boot right there. Get out of here. Go. Finally, Detroit fires their coach, Matt Patricia. It's been long overdue. I was not a Matt Patricia fan. I didn't like the firing of Jim Caldwell years ago, and them trying to replace him with Matt Patricia did not work out, and so the general manager got the boot as well. And so we shall see what coach wants to come in next and coach up an older Matthew Stafford. They have a bunch of talent. Just will the right coach put them in position to win games? And Matt Patricia couldn't get the job done.
Oh yeah, just a lot of craziness there. I mean, we've had four? This is the 4th GM that has been booted so far this season.
Yep.
I mean, we have Atlanta that's looking for a new GM. We got Detroit that's looking for a new GM. Houston's looking for a new GM, and Jacksonville.
The
Jags also. I mean, for these 4 teams, it was basically.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, it's time for them to go, and some of them even let go of their head coaches too. So it's just been crazy to say the least. Especially for a couple of these teams who, after Thanksgiving's like, you know what, before you sit down and eat your turkey, here's your pink slip, my good sir.
You're fired.
You're fired. But yeah, just so much craziness there. And then, of course, everything going on with COVID and the NFL deciding it's going to, shut down, Monday and Tuesday, make everyone stay at home, do things online, and just, granted, besides today, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, getting to see some action. Just a lot of craziness, man.
Yep.
I think this has got to be, I would say, one of the craziest, of course, this got to be the craziest week of them all so far.
Oh, yeah. By far. And it's going to be really interesting to see. Basically, the NFL had set in plan a 2-week, basically, if COVID got real serious, they would be able to kick everything back for 2 weeks and reset. But it seems like the NFL is just like, forget that. They're full steam ahead, especially with the 49ers now having to play in Arizona since California's saying no contact sport.
Well, Santa Clara is saying that no contact sports. So basically, Santa Clara, California saying, we're shutting down, again, or not really necessarily shutting down, but we're just limiting some stuff. And one of those things was contact sports in football. So that means the San Francisco 49ers are not going to be playing in Santa Clara for the foreseeable future. They're heading down to the Big Toaster and sharing residency for 2 games at least with the Cardinals. So that's just crazy to think that we're going to have the Cardinals and not only just play down there, they're moving their whole operation down there.
Yeah.
They're training, so for the next 5 weeks, San Francisco 49er players are going to be in Phoenix to finish out the season, at least until Santa Clara, decides, maybe they'll change their mind within 2 weeks, maybe 3, that they could bring, they'll roll back on the no contact. I mean, it's 2020. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and even more craziness that Denver, if you did not watch this past week or even hear about it, that Denver did not have a single quarterback available to play because of COVID. Literally one quarterback got it, and contact tracing gave it to the other 2 for shock and awe. So yeah, Denver had to roll with a wide receiver. So, they didn't have a first string. They didn't have a second string. They didn't even have a third string. They had to go to the wide receivers to get a quarterback.
It's even worse because they wanted their offensive control coach. I forget his name. They wanted a coach to be the quarterback. They were like, look, just let our coach be the quarterback. He played quarterback. I know he played quarterback at Central Florida. So that, just utter madness for the Denver Broncos. But they managed to score 3 points, and that the quarterback basically had no practice reps. They basically said, hey, go out there and just do what you can do. So, kudos to him. There's a lot of fans out there like talking down on him. I'm like, the guy went out there with no practice, has no idea what the reads are, what the plays are, and basically just did his best, So they managed to put up 3 points, the same amount of points that Tampa Bay put up against the Saints. So bang, bang,
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think. I mean, this is how the NFL mindset is right now. I mean, in this COVID situation, Denver didn't have a quarterback, and they, said, hey, your guys are playing. And, if you got in, I kind of, figured this out, watching, Monday Night Football this past week and hearing the discussion that they were having on Monday Night Countdown. The NFL is basically, just trying to get this season done.
Yes,
I mean, they're trying to not use every last resort option that they have. They're trying to get all the teams to play. all their games, through the season. They're trying to hold off on pushing, trying to add a week 18 into the mix.
Yep.
And think of it, of course, with having Baltimore and Philadelphia, Pittsburgh being rescheduled now, from Thanksgiving to Sunday, and then from Sunday to Wednesday, or what was it, Tuesday, then to Wednesday, that they are trying to get this, they're trying to get the season done in an orderly fashion to where we don't have to have a bubble mentality. We don't have to have, an extra week. I mean, granted, Super Bowl was pushed to allow for this time frame. So I just feel like this is, it's kudos for the NFL to try to get everyone on the mindset that stayed in the NFL, that stayed to play this season, that we're going straight forward. We're going to wait to use all of our last resort options, and, if it's need be.
Yeah. I mean, we're not looking to push the Super Bowl back, so that's also a plus. Let's just, we're finished. We're going into week 13. You might as well go ahead and just push through. I think the players are doing their best with trying to stay COVID free, So yeah, let's get it done, and let's get the season over with, and let's go ahead and do this recap of this Thanksgiving week of football.
Oh yeah, again, like we said, this was a crazy week. In the week 12 is, normally is a little bit more interesting. It's Thanksgiving, we get some turkey, we get some football. We're getting ready, into the swing to start to Christmas, feel. But as we're, let's get into the scores of this recap. So Thanksgiving morning game, we had ourselves an interesting game with Houston taking on Detroit. Detroit losing 4 straight now to them. Houston, or actually on Thanksgiving, as they lose 41-25. The afternoon game. Oh, I'm sure Cowboy Cam. Yep, there he goes. He's hot. He wants to get out of camera view because it was a classic NFC least matchup on a Thanksgiving, with the Dallas Cowboys taking on the whatchamacallits, Washington, just literally coming out and just see ya. Bull rush past Dallas.
Ignore that man. Okay, look here. If that fake punt works, which at first I was mad at Mike McCarthy for calling it, and then when you go and look at the play, it appears the guy who Cedric Wilson, it appears he's supposed to throw this ball, and he just doesn't throw it. The guy's wide open. So I'm like, man, how can I say we should fire Mike McCarthy when the players don't run the play right, But once that happened, open the floodgates. The defense had played pretty well all day, but once you put your defense in a corner like that, they're gonna give up a touchdown. And sure enough, first play, touchdown, and then open the floodgates. They get another touchdown, and Andy Dalton throws a pick 6, and it was just so bad. What a terrible Thanksgiving for Cowboy fans. Oh. Unless you're a Cowboy fan like me that wants that draft pick, that wants that top 5 draft pick, then we're sitting nice.
You're not going to get the top draft pick because that's going to the Jets.
Hey, as long as we're top 5 and these college quarterbacks keep playing very well, they keep playing great, somebody's going to trade up for one of these quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the Dallas Cowboy game, or the whatchamacallit game, that was just, a blowout from the word go. Gibson had the most rushing touchdown by a rookie on a Thanksgiving game since 1948. That's a lot. He had 3. So for a rookie on Thanksgiving, that's some good. That's some good history right there. Moving along, we're going into the Giants and the Bengals. Giants pulling out a victory by 2 against them Cincy Bengals. Have won 3 straight games for the first time since 2016. They win it by 19-17. Jags and the Browns. That one a lot closer than what a lot of people thought it was going to be. Literally, another 2-point game right there. Browns win it 27-25. The Browns have 8 wins for the first time since
No losing season for
2007.
them.
Huh?
They won't have a losing season. How great it is to be that's why I
Shocking.
wore the orange. Cleveland
Shocking.
Brown. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh yeah. Tennessee and the Colts. This one was one of the big ones, this weekend on Sunday that had playoff and big playoff implications. Titans getting their sharpness back, winning in one of their must games that they need in their own division. They win at 45-26. Tennessee has won 3 of their last 4 road games against Indy. So that was an important game that we all knew we needed.
Basically, we now know who the best running back in the NFL is. Derrick Henry. Cheers to
Oh,
you.
Henry.
Oh, Henry.
Henry.
It just seemed like every time he touched the ball, and Indianapolis has a great defense, but it just seems like there was nothing he could do wrong.
Oh no. I mean, he's just been bull rushing everyone. Just this season, he's one of the top
running through everyone.
Oh yeah. Let's see, Vegas and Falcons. This one was the big blowout upset of the week, surprise of the week. Oh, and especially back to Derrick Henry, Mister. He's at the top right now at 1257 for rushing yards. So he's one of the top ones right now.
Oh yeah, Dalvin Cook's close behind.
Oh yeah. But yeah, back to the Raiders and the Falcons. This one was surprise. Literally upset city right here for them damn Falcons. Just bashing.
They won't go away.
No, this is I swear this year the Falcons have taken over the Dolphins spot in the thorn in everyone's side at some point.
Yep.
Or ruin someone's playoffs, at some point. But yeah, Falcons upset Raiders 43-6, the most points that they've scored since week 9 of 2016. Damn. Chargers and the Bills. Bills, again, continue to roll on. 27-17 over the Chargers. Their first win against the Chargers since week 7 of 2008. So it's been a long time that they beat the Chargers. Yeah, 2008. The first win versus the Chargers for Buffalo since week 7 of 2008.
And I know they don't play them often. Like, I know it's not like a matchup that just happens all the time. But I wasn't even in high school yet. So that's just an update for you guys. I wasn't even in high school yet.
Oh, that was junior year for me because I graduated in 2009. So,
man.
So let's see. Panthers and the Vikings. Close game here. 1-point game.
I want to talk about this one.
Okay, we're going to get to it. As Minnesota squeaks by 1 with a 28-27 victory over the Panthers. Cam, take it away. You want to talk about this one?
Okay. So myself, I am a Teddy Bridgewater fan, but we may have to come to a discussion if Teddy Bridgewater is the right quarterback for Carolina, considering Jeremy Chin, a rookie safety for the Panthers, recovered not 1 fumble for a touchdown, but 2 fumbles for a touchdown. He put 14 points on the board.
Just by himself.
By himself. And the Panthers find a way. The Panthers find a way to blow this game to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins with a game-winning touchdown pass to BB, I believe. So, Carolina, we're going to have a discussion on if Teddy Bridgewater is a guy for you guys.
Oh! Yeah, that's what they were saying the entire time. Like, how do you let this man score 14 points? Literally, just sack you and just fumble you and pick it up and ran straight into the end zone both times.
Poor Jeremy Chin. I'm so sorry, man.
Unfortunately, he's going to have to be a question on Jeopardy for that. That's how bad it was.
Who recovered 2 fumbles for touchdowns and a loss? Who is Jeremy Chin?
And you just got yourself $500. All right.
All right. Oh man.
Unless it's double Jeopardy, then it's 1,000. But yeah, that one was a crazy game. And as I said last week, I did not trust the Carolina Panthers that much. That's why
you called it.
You were the lone man that stood by that kitty while me and Mike were with them Vikings, and it's just so crazy.
I had to take the hot L. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. And then of course you can see what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing the Musket Boys because the Patriots.
Shout out to Cam.
Oh yeah, Cam and then Patriots and Bill Belichick pulling a 3-point victory over them Arizona Cardinals. Literally, Nick Foles with that Folk with that game-winning 50-yard field goal to end the game. That was one of my high points of this week. Is like I feel like Arizona is not going to win this game, and lo and behold, we get a 50-yarder to end it.
Somehow, some way, Bill Belichick finds a way to steal a victory because Cam Newton didn't play well. And for those people out there saying, "Oh, Cam sucks," like, no, you literally waited for Cam Newton to have you waited for Cam to have a bad week to say that because Cam literally, they're 3-1 in their last 4 games. The Patriots they're rolling. They're 3-1 in their last 4 games, and even with Cam going, I believe, 8 for 12 with 2 interceptions, 84 yards, they somehow were able to steal a win from those Cardinals. And so, yeah, is Bill Belichick trying to make the playoffs? We shall see.
I mean, it's somewhat maybe a little wide open up there.
Yeah,
it's somewhat. I mean, it's still up in the air, at least for the AFC East, maybe a wild card spot.
Maybe.
But again, it's all just going to depend on what happens the rest of the way. But yeah, and of course, I'm running because y'all didn't think this was going to happen, and then Patriots were going to not beat them Cardinals. I'm the lone man that took a musket. I'm the lone man who decided to go against the Cardinal, and we shot him down.
The Cardinals are going to have to find a way to win games with Kyler Murray's shoulder, being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to find a way to pull out some wins, It's never good when your best player's hurt, but someone has to be a factor in helping get some wins while, he recovers. They didn't ask him to do too much, which when the game was on the line, they gave the ball to Kenyon Drake, and maybe even with Kyler with a hurt shoulder, I probably asked Kyler to, hey, go save the day. But instead, the Patriots get a chance to go win the game, and Nick Folk kicks a game-winning field goal.
Oh, yeah, a 50-yarder. That was just a long bomb with that foot. All right, Dolphins taking on the Jets. Dolphins literally smacking the Jets. Of course, it's the Jets. 20-3. Miami allowed 3 total points in 2 games versus the Jets this season. Literally, every time the Dolphins and Jets have played, the Dolphins have only let up 3 points, and this was the game. That's just sad. I mean, literally, just so sad.
Yes.
I mean, the Jets right now are just screaming,
"Help! Help! Help! Save me, pal! Save me! Help!"
How does Adam Gase still have his job? I don't understand.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
if you're going over, then you better have a strategy.
Man,
you better have faith that, like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put faith in you for next season. You better be drafting somebody this year
Trevor Lawrence,
and
their faith
putting the
is in
fear of
Trevor Lawrence.
God this coming season. I'm not going for this next season. I don't even want one victory. I want multiple next season.
Multiple. I don't know if I want to see Trevor Lawrence with the Jets. Like, I don't trust Adam Gase. Like,
Well, I mean, he could be, depending on how they set up, for next season, or maybe even have the mindset. He could be the next Broadway Joe right there.
Hey,
The
we'll
man
see.
to come and save the Gang Green machine right there up in New Jack City. Moving on, surprise of the NFC West, the Rams and the Niners. This one was the real surprise down there at in LA. San Francisco with a 42-yard field goal to end the game, winning by 23-20 over the Rams, and literally helping out the Seahawks right here of everybody to be shocked. And another game I jumped all over, like, you know what? I'm not with them Rams. I'm not with the Hollywood Rams like you and Mike. I'm going with the Niners for the upset, and I called it.
Oh yeah, you called it. We gotta bask in Kyle Shanahan's greatness because he's doing with all backups, and this is why I don't necessarily cut my Dallas Cowboys any slack, because the 49ers are winning games with backups. Like all over the place. They were at one point the most injury riddled team in the NFL. And so Kyle Shanahan finds a way to beat Jared Goff and Sean McVay with Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins. And also there's starting to be a little conversation about Jared Goff if he's the guy there, in LA, which I never predicted he was the guy. I thought he was a okay quarterback, but I don't think he's great. I don't believe that. And so, conversations starting to start up there in LA as if Jared Goff that guy.
Well, you got to think about this even more. The Niners have swept the Rams this season. They have swept them. With all the injuries that the Niners have had and everything that's gone on with the Niners, they still swept the Rams this season.
Get the brooms, baby!
I mean, it's not Halloween anymore, so we can't use them brooms anymore. But still, we'll save them. But yeah, moving on from that, the Saints and the Broncos. We've already talked about this. Broncos having to go to a wide receiver as their quarterback, and literally, this was I would say 90% of their plays had to go hand the ball off.
Hand the ball off. Wildcat.
Hand the ball off. Yeah. Or at least in our guy Flex Mike's, words is,
don't care that they have a third string quarterback. All you need is a warm body to turn around and hand the ball off and play defense.
It didn't work that way. It didn't work that way
at least the third string quarterback one didn't work.
Yeah. I was like, it didn't work. It didn't work this week because the Saints, are one of the best teams in the NFC, and so you're not going to beat one of those teams like that. But Denver was able to beat the Jets with their third string quarterback. So, man, Mike, that was a good take. If you're watching, that was a great take, man.
That thing will never die on this network. Literally, it's etched here. But yeah, Broncos 91 gross passing yards combined, fewest since week 14 of 1982.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, when you're going to your wide receiver, might I add, as your only source of throwing, the yards on that throwing arm is just going to get a little usage there. And of course, next game on the dock, the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Another close matchup here.
No.
You lose by 3. I mean, again, it was a close. At least in the scoreboard, it was close. Let's just go with that. Scoreboard wise, it was close. But
man, no, I'm not. No. The Buccaneers got blown out. The Buccaneers got blown out, and Andy Reid and his Chiefs let up off the gas pedal because I believe Tyreek Hill had over 200 receiving yards in the first half. 3 touchdowns, I believe, in the first half. They were unstoppable. Tom Brady was terrible. Terrible, all capital. He was terrible. All right. 2 interceptions, and they happen to put up a few points towards the end. But if the Chiefs keep their foot on the pedal, I believe they wiped out the Buccaneers, 40 points. I believe they let up, I don't know why. But yeah, the Tom Brady whole experiment there in Tampa Bay is looking real interesting.
Well, I mean, they're still in the hunt for a playoff berth, so I mean,
they're gonna make the playoffs. Yeah.
It's having a benefit right now.
Yeah,
but it just take it for what you will for right now. I mean, we're only week 12 in. I mean, they're still in the hunt. I mean, if this was a Tampa Bay team that was sitting at the bottom of the NFC, this would be a completely different, story. We'd be saying,
that's true.
We'd be saying that the Brady experiment was a bust, or even at least the first season of it was a bust. I mean, depending on how long he's going to play for down there in Tampa Bay. So, yeah. As Sunday night game this week, we had the Bears taking on them Packers. Packers just steamrolled over their own NFC North division rivals, literally just bashed them over the head with a steel chair and left some cheese curds with them as a parting gift.
Yeah, Mitchell Trubisky's not that guy.
Yeah,
I don't believe Matt Nagy's the guy either. So yes, I think things are going to get really interesting in Chicago. But also, I have to keep in mind that this might be Chicago. Matt Nagy's never had a losing season, so it's hard to say fire Matt Nagy because he's never had a losing season. I believe he's been in the playoffs ever since he's been the head coach of the Bears. So it's tough, but we definitely know Mitchell Trubisky is not that guy.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, I don't think he is the guy. I mean, a lot of things can still happen. I mean, not necessarily to try to get the North. I mean, because the North right now is is wide out of there. Unless the Vikings can have a miraculous turnaround and just go on a tear, and the Packers just decide to ease up a lot.
Yeah,
and I mean, because Vikings are 3-1 in the division in the North, Packers are 3-1 in the division, and they lead it at 8-3 to Minnesota's 5-6. So you got a 3-game swing here that you don't have to necessarily give them, but the Vikings are going to have to bust out and come out swinging for to get these 3 games.
They're going to have to finish strong. Yep.
They have to finish strong if they want to get back into it. I mean, you got 5 weeks left before we hit the postseason, so a lot of things could happen. Yep. But yeah, that was the Sunday night game. The second most points in the Chicago versus Green Bay game in the Super Bowl era, as the Green Bay Packers bashed the Bears 41-25. Think about that. The second most points versus Chicago.
41-25.
Yeah. And we head into what was the Monday night game this past week, as the Seattle Seahawks take on the those Philly Eagles right there. Literally, this game was a lot closer than what it should have been. I mean, for a team that is supposedly in the mix for an NFC East, I don't even want to call it a crown. It's more like a paper bag. It's a paper bag crown.
Yeah.
It's a crown made out of a paper bag right now because it's so bad. And the Seahawks, having sole possession of that first place spot in the West, literally as close, as close a game it was. It should have been a bigger blowout, to say the
Oh
least.
yeah.
As the Seahawks beat, and I say beat, loosely, beat the Eagles 23-17. DK Metcalf having a career high 177 receiving yards. Cam, I know you got some thoughts about that, so let's hear from the NFC East representative.
Let's blame Jim Swartz, because he literally goes, DK Metcalf he's not on Calvin Johnson's level yet. And basically DK went ahead and showed us that he is. I'm not sure if you guys seen the statistics for the receiving yardage for a guy in his second season, but DK is way ahead of Calvin Johnson. Now, keep in mind, Calvin Johnson did have Dan Orlovsky as his quarterback his first season, and I think Fitzpatrick the second season. So keep in mind, those are the two quarterbacks he had, but still DK Metcalf is on pace to be one of the greats. And so the Seahawks were able to – DK had his way, but they missed out on a lot of opportunities in the red zone, scoring touchdowns against the Eagles. But Philly's going to have to address Carson Wentz is the worst quarterback in the NFL. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm being fair in my critique. He's the worst. He's the worst in every single category, passing category. A lot of people say, oh, well, he doesn't have the weapons, the line. Well, his passing rating on unpressured passes, like he's just in a clean pocket. He's the worst. He's one of the worst passers in a clean pocket. He's missing key throws. A lot of the analysts were calling it out during the game now. He missed it. He didn't read it right, and he missed it. And then the Eagles bring on Jalen Hurts for one play, one pass. He completes it, then takes him off. Like, you're wasting time to win this division, because the Eagles should have ran away with the division. Mm-hmm. Washington is decent. They're decent. They're not ready to win a division. Alex Smith is trying to get back in his groove, but they're not ready to win a division. The Giants just lost Daniel Jones for a few weeks. And so the Eagles have the perfect opportunity to take advantage of a lot of the NFC East teams being down, and they drop yet another game. Don't let that score fool you. I believe they threw a Hail Mary with 30 seconds left, and they caught it and scored.
Yeah, they did.
A guy lost out. And a guy had a $500,000 bet on the Seahawks winning by 7, and I think the Eagles lose by 6. So, yeah, the Eagles messed over a lot of people with that one. But, yeah, don't let that score fool you. The Eagles lost. It was not super close. And the Eagles are going to have to address their quarterback issue.
Yeah, I mean, and from my perspective, you open the game out, at least defensive-wise for the Seahawks. You force the Eagles on 2 possessions. You force them to, to punt both times. And after, on your first 2 possessions, you go 4 and out. Literally, run your 4 downs, and then you get blown at the line of scrimmage both times. And it's like, really, guys? I understand you. If you're thinking, you're playing the Eagles, it's the NFC least team. They're the least. You guys should be playing a whole lot better than what you are, and yet you're running 4 downs, and you're trying. I get this is what Philly often tends to be a problem for Seattle in other years, where they would have close, tight games where it would be coming down to the wire or on a last play miraculously, and then all of a sudden, this game it just seems like it's. It's 0-0 for a good while, forever. And then it's just short passes, runs, turnover, field kicking. And it's like, guys, come on. But just a lot of things that shouldn't have happened, but did happen. And of course, that one person probably who put a lot of money on that Eagles losing, but how much. and he's got to be like sick as a dog and like, no, I don't want to wake up. Tell me it was a lie. Tell me it was a lie.
Oh man.
Because guess what? For him,
For instance, if you were to look up all-time bonehead plays,
that would be one of them for
That's
him.
one of giving up a Hail Mary, man, like with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah, literally. It was just crazy. That's literally week 12. Crazy.
Oh, and then they got the 2-point conversion, so that made it even worse. Like, oh, God.
Yeah, so Seahawks win it by 23-17. That was, interesting Monday night game. And then we head to today's game that was rescheduled, that just got done a little while ago, a couple hours ago. Steelers and the Ravens going at it to make up for their Thanksgiving night game with no Lamar Jackson, as he is out with, for COVID, the COVID. And it was, kind of tight for a little bit. I mean, just a little, but the Steelers had it in hand. I mean, this game felt like it was just too stretched out and elongated for what it was. Steelers roll to 11-0. They win it 19-14 over Lamar Jackson. Less Ravens, as Baltimore loses 4 of their last 5 games after starting, since they started 5-1. So not a great record for these guys right now, especially trying to get into that playoff picture.
Yep.
But that was week 12 in essence. Anything else that caught your eye that you want to go ahead and talk about before we roll into this week 13? December picks.
I think we covered it all. I just want to say Atlanta may have their head coach, Raheem Morris. Ever since he stepped in, Atlanta has been on a roll. So Atlanta may have their future head coach, I believe. So let's keep an eye on like if an extension is signed there and things like that. But yeah, man, we covered mostly everything. Just what a crazy week. And it was crazy that the Ravens could almost won that game. With the third string quarterback, Trace McSorley, stepping in and throwing a dime to Hollywood Brown for a touchdown. But they just couldn't get the ball back. And so, that game was, I would love to see Lamar Jackson against the Steelers one more time.
I don't care that they have a third string quarterback. All you need is one guy to turn around and hand the ball off and play defense.
You said the third.
I said the magic word, huh?
You said the magic word again.
Oh man. We covered it all, and this week was just insane. And let's just try to get through the season.
Yeah, literally. Let's just get through the season. So looking at, quickly before we head into this week's picks, playoff picture wise, we have, at least for the NFC division, you got the Saints, who are currently sitting at that 1, who get the bye. Green Bay 2, Seahawks 3, the New York Giants at 4, who have to be at number 4 because of the fact of their record, and they're the NFC East. And then you got the Hollywood Rams at 5. You got them Buccaneers sitting at 6, and lo and behold, the Cardinals sitting at 7. Surprisingly, this is looking like a mostly NFC West playoff picture. You got 3 out of the 4 spots occupied by the West. If the playoffs were to start right now, who would be your team? Who would be your first round teams that move on as we're looking on? Because it would be Green Bay versus Arizona, Seahawks versus Tampa Bay, and the Giants versus the Rams. Who would be moving on to that week 2?
Well, the easiest answer is the Rams.
Okay.
But I would lean more towards who did you say Seattle played?
Seattle will take on that 6 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Green Bay Packers will take on the 7 seed Arizona Cardinals.
What's funny is I believe Arizona can get Green Bay. So yeah, I would go Seattle over the Buccaneers. I believe that would be a better matchup to choose because Seattle's really great at they're getting back to running the football, man. They're getting back to running the football. Russ is still cooking. You know, he's being more efficient with his cooking though. He's cooking eloquent dishes now, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I believe I don't think that Tampa Bay defense is necessarily ready for a Russell Wilson-led offense, especially in the playoffs. So, yeah, I would say the Seattle Seahawks would be my number one pick to win their playoff game.
Okay. And then the Green Bay Cardinals, you're kind of throwing it towards the Cardinals a little bit more?
Yeah, because you can run the ball on Green Bay. The Green Bay Packers had every chance to fix their run defense, but they didn't. They did not. And I believe if Kyler Murray's healthy, him and Kenyon Drake can have a field day running the football on these Packers.
Even on if it's when it's going to be at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field in the middle of January.
Especially any team that's great at running the football now is even better at it in the playoffs. A lot of defenses don't want to hit these defenders. It hurts. It hurts. And so, I believe, the Cardinals would be able to take care of Green Bay definitely.
Okay. Any team you see out of the NFC looking to make that jump into the playoffs before we move on to AFC?
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Washington football team. I believe they'll overtake the Giants for the division. I think they're a better football team. I
could agree. I could agree with that. The Giants just look like they're barely surviving, at least in the division. Literally barely surviving by this much. And I feel like if they have a really bad game, especially when they get into their last half of the division games that they have, because let's see, the Giants, they have to play the skin or the whatchamacallits, week 14. So hold on. I think I read that wrong. My schedule thing came up wrong. Actually, no, they don't have to play again. They're done with the whatchamacallits. The last opponent that they have to play in the East is them boys to kick off the new year. The last week of the year. Because the Giants, right? The Giants have to play the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Browns, and the Ravens. Washington, as soon as this lets me. Washington, they have to play in their last several games. They got Steelers, the Niners, the Hawks, the Panthers, and then the Eagles to kick off the new year in the week 17.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, literally, this is just
that's brutal. Those schedules are brutal.
Eagles. I mean, yeah, because Giants and whatchamacallits are 3-2 in the division. Eagles, they have to play at least 2 more, and they have Packers. Oh yeah, their last 2 games of the season will be the Cowboys and the whatchamacallits, the after Christmas game and the New Year game, and then the boys, of course, 1 and 3. They got to finish out with 2 of their last 2 games of the season are Philly and the Giants. So that after Christmas and New Year's
it's gonna get real interesting.
To start the new year is going to be deciding who reps the NFC least in the playoffs. It's the East. No, it's the least.
Hey, but once you make the playoffs, you never know what could happen. So that's the name of the game. Just get in.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Oh yeah. AFC picture as it sits right now. Pittsburgh, of course, at top, 11-1. KC at 2, Tennessee 3, Buffalo at 4, Cleveland Browns at 5. That's a shock of the century right now. The Dolphins at 6 and the Colts at 7. Thoughts on that playoff picture right now?
It looks basically how I imagined it. It's always harder to pick the NFC, the NFC division. You never know what's gonna happen in the NFC, but the AFC kind of has its people there. Its guys. I think Pittsburgh basically wraps up this season, not necessarily undefeated, but man, they might. I think they can. I think they can finish undefeated, in my opinion. I picked them to make the Super Bowl anyway. I'm sorry not to hear my son. He's all excited, yelling at me right now.
But I figure Pittsburgh could finish, undefeated. I think that they can. Looking at their last schedule, their last opponents that they have, they got them whatchamacallits next week or this coming week. They have the Bills. That one might be a trip up right there. That's going to be an interesting matchup right there. Cincy, that's going to be a win, I believe. They have the Colts. That one might give them a little trouble also. And then, of course, them Browns to close out. So I think they have a real good shot at finishing undefeated right here, as long as they can handle their business against the Bills and the Colts.
That's it. That's all they got to do. And we'll be looking at a 16-0 team. Wow.
Second time we'll have that. Or actually, third time outside that.
Time. Yeah.
Besides the perfect Dolphins and the almost perfect Patriots. Thanks to them Giants in the Super Bowl.
But
any surprise, teams coming in to the AFC picture? That might slide into that wild card spot and knock either Buffalo, Cleveland, or actually no, sorry, Cleveland, Miami, or the Colts out. Any teams you want to think that can slide in?
It's the Raiders. It's the Raiders. They let us down this week, but I'm not sure who they play next. But they got a great chance of redemption here. Can they steal it away from Miami or Indy? Is my question. I think Cleveland's too far ahead. I don't see them losing enough games to necessarily drop from that 5 spot.
Well, next up for them, Oakland. Or sorry, I can't say Oakland anymore. They no longer exist. Them Las Vegas Raiders is them for Jets. They have next up. And then they have the Colts, the Chargers, the Dolphins, and then them Broncos to end the year.
Wow. So there's really a good chance that they can get that 7 spot.
Yeah, because they or even make it a 6 because they have to play the Dolphins and the Colts.
Yeah.
So they can slide into that 6 spot.
Yeah, like I was saying, I believe the Raiders they're basically my only outside my bubble pick. That's the team that's on the bubble. I really believe that Oakland can somehow manage to make the playoffs.
We can No, here we go. Uh-oh. Yep, Mama Snow's here. But yeah, we're just thinking we're gonna see the end the Raiders, get into the playoffs, probably set that 6th seed to finish out, because they have to play the Colts and they have to play the Dolphins, who are in the playoffs ahead of them. That's all we're throwing out there. It's good. I mean, so yeah. But looks like we can comment. We all know what will happen to whoever makes it out of the least. It agrees with me. The NFC least, they are going to get tore up in the playoffs. That's a fact. Even Mama Snow's like, yep, they're going to get tore up. But yeah,
they're not playoff teams now.
No. All right, so let's get into our flex picks of the week. Let's make our picks. As last week, this coming week, Mike wins again. Literally, he is on a 4-week tear. This is the first time in a long time we've all actually been in double-digit win. We got double digits under our belt. That's a highlight of the week. I mean, literally, I can tell you this right now from my, at least in my scoreboard that I have. If I took out the Thanksgiving games, In the Raider game, I went perfect on Sunday. All the games except the Raider game, I went perfect on Sundays, on the Sunday game this past week and the Monday. But
I had a rough week as we.
Thanksgiving was horrible. I picking Detroit and picking Dallas. I don't know what I was thinking. You jumping on with you, that Dallas band, that old rickety.
Hey, it was
that's
fine.
Broken.
It was
car is
fine.
broken.
It was fine until the fourth quarter. Then it went all downhill from there.
Yeah. And then whatchamacallits just came by and took your hubcaps.
Oh man,
and your wheels.
They took everything, man. They took it all.
They slashed the wheels and they took your hubcaps. but yeah, otherwise this was a very good week. We all got double digit into the score, and it's gotten closer for Mr. Flex Mike to catch up on Cam. I'm still 6 back, while Mr. Mike is 1 back from you this coming week. So we're heading to the final stretch of the season, guys. Last 5 weeks, a lot of things can change. So let's get into our picks this week. We have Mike's pick, so I will let you know what he chose for this coming week as we talk about week 13. First up, there is no Thursday games this week as another NFL schedule change has prompted thanks to the Baltimore and Pittsburgh game today. We'll get into that in a little bit. So there is no Thursday game tomorrow. So we're going to start with the Sunday games. First up on the docket is them Saints going down to Hotlanta to take on them Falcons.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first while I'll try to get up the the over under kind of part. So okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been on a roll with picking Yeah, I've been on a roll with picking the Saints these past few weeks. It's something about Atlanta that went over the Raiders that's bothering me. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Saints. Give me the Saints over Atlanta.
Okay. The over is New Orleans by -3s right now. So Falcons under 3 points right now. I'm like with you and Mike, who also chose the Saints. The Falcons, I feel like they got that thorn. They pricked one team, and I don't think they're gonna have enough to prick another team, at least back-to-back weeks. I feel like the Saints, who are still without Drew Brees, I think they're gonna still get into their continuous groove that they've been in, and they're going to continue their winning ways until Drew gets back from his busted up ribs and collapsed lung. So give me them Holy Saints to join this week. So yeah, we all went New Orleans. Next up is the Motor City Kitties heading on up to face them Bears at Soldier Field. The line for this is Chicago under 3, so -3. So 3 points right there for Chicago right now. I will go first. Actually, I'll let you know that Mike chose the Bears in this matchup. My thing is, I feel like Detroit literally just stank up the bed this past week. Literally, it was a horrible game for them. And while I kind of want to know what their record is after a Thanksgiving loss. I want to know that if they come back and win their next game after a Thanksgiving bashing. For some reason, I think this is just going to be another one of those games where it's not good, but not great. And while I don't trust Chicago that much, the fact that this game is going to be um, in Chicago for some reason. And the Bears have won 5 straight against Detroit. I feel like this is going to be a bear of a good time. So give me the Bears.
Well, I'm kind of undefeated on choosing teams after they just fired their coach. And that's the main concern for me. How good will the Lions be after they just fired their head coach? I don't trust the Bears offense.
But what about their defense?
You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take them. Give me the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions.
Wow, went with them Motor City Kitties, them cardiac cats. Okay. All right. So you went Detroit. Me and Mike are on the Chicago Bear train. Next up is going to be them Browns going down to Nashville and playing with them Tennessee Titans. Let's see what this the Titans are 5.5. They have been given a 5.5 points right there for the Titans. So Mike went with Tennessee this time around. What are you up for?
I'm going to do the same. It came back to bite me in the butt not taking Tennessee against the Colts. I just don't think I don't think Cleveland's really good at beating teams they're supposed to beat. I don't think they're going to get a victory over a team they're not supposed to beat. So yeah, give me the Titans over the Browns.
Okay. I'm with you guys. I'm swinging with the sword here because the Titans got their sharpness back. I feel like they have gotten back to their winning ways. I feel like they are just back to their steamrolling momentum of where they're going to just roll right into the playoffs, and they're going to give teams a lot of headache. I feel like this is just going to be the time that they're going to do so. So I'm with you, Cowboy Cam, who just appeared back on the live stream. I'm swinging with the Titans. So give me a sword because I'm swinging with you guys. We all went Tennessee. Next up is we going down to Miami, as it will be the Dolphins taking on the Bengals. And for that game, we have the Dolphins 11.5 point favorite in this one over the Bengals. Mike went with them Dolphins, went with the Fish Boys, and you know what? I think we're all gonna. This is a unanimous. Everyone
no Joe Burrow. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, and the fact that the Dolphins, surprisingly, no matter when if they announce who their starter is, no matter what, you got a dual threat down there. You got Fitzmagic and you got Tua time. That's a lethal combination right now, and I feel like right now, if this magic can work and can get them, maybe even closer in the standings, I feel like maybe the Dolphins could pull off the big right hook on Buffalo
and win the division. Wow.
This would be a real good surprise if need be. But again, Miami this year with having Fitzmagic and Tua, they've been rolling. All right, so we all went with the Dolphins.
Yep.
Next up is Jacksonville going up to the Twin Cities of Minnesota. Mike went with them Vikings, and the line on this one is Minnesota with a 10 by 10. Minnesota with a 10, under 10. So, or yeah. If I'm reading this right, it's Minnesota, 10. They gave him a 10 line for this. So you're up on this one.
Yeah, give me Minnesota. I believe the Jags are wanting to be in position to draft a quarterback. Even though I believe Gardner Minshew is their guy, but I think they're looking to start over. They're starting over. They're starting over again, and I think they'll find a way to get Gardner Minshew be their backup or they trade him. So I'm thinking they're going to be good with their drafting position, and they're going to allow not now people. When I say allow, I don't mean that they're going to lose this game on purpose, but I don't think they're good enough to beat Minnesota with what they have right now. So yeah, give me the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm with you on the pick and everything, but I feel like not Minnesota. Jacksonville has their quarterback. I mean, Minshew, when he is healthy, is their guy. I think that probably they might be looking to get him some more weapons, maybe some more on the line at least. Maybe get him a backup that's going to help him rather than what he's currently doing right now and leading them down the one win rose path, which is a lot better than the Ofer path that the Jets are currently, driving on. But I feel like the Minshew mania is still running wild, when he is healthy. And I feel like that Minshew is their quarterback. That's their franchise quarterback that they are building around. So again, he has to be healthy and you got to give him help to protect him and you got to give him some weapons. So while I am with you guys with both of you on the pick, I feel like Jacksonville has their guy. So we're all giving a Viking funeral to the kitty down in Jacksonville.
Yep.
Yeah, and that one, Minnesota has won 4 of the last 5 games, since starting 1-5.
Dang.
Okay. I think we've reached that point again. Because I think we've reached that point again for another unanimous decision. Because next up on the docket is the Las Vegas Raiders heading up to the gangrene machine of New Jack City. And yeah, we're all in agreement, including Mike. We have all chosen the Las Vegas Raiders to bash them whatever they're at now, them for Jets. No bar none necessarily for that. We're all going Vegas.
I see 0-16 in their future.
Oh God. To join those cardiac cats in 0-16, and there was another team that went 0-16. Let me just double check. I want to say that
This is a fun fact.
Yeah. 0-16 teams. There's been 5 that have gone over. Since 1944, only 5 teams have posted winless seasons in the NFL. Okay, for the first one, it's not an 0-16, but it is an over. And unfortunately, it is your 1960 Dallas Cowboys who went 0-11-1.
Hey, we'll say.
The next one was 0-14 at 1976. It was them Tampa Bay Bucks. 82. It looks like it was a very short season as it was in 82 and 0-8-1 Baltimore Colts. 08 was the Cardiac Cats, and then 2017 was them for Browns at 0-16. So they would be the third team to join at the 0-16 mark if them Jets finish out the way that they are. So we all went with Vegas. Let's roll on over to the next game. Houston hosting them Colts. Mike went with them Colts. I think this one will be me because we all agreed on the last one. Let's get the line for this one as soon as my phone will allow me to get back to where I was. Yeah, just Indianapolis and Houston. I think this is going to be an Indy game. I mean, I think that they're too strong right now for what they're playing at. They're playing for a division crown. They need this game, to stay equal with the Titans, to keep it an interesting game with an interesting series with these guys. They need it. I feel like this is going to be a Colts game to win. And I just don't trust Houston as much to try to get the victory over a playoff caliber team right now in Indy. So I will be playing with them Colts.
Man, Deshaun Watson's been on fire. And maybe if he'd not had lost Will Fuller, I probably would choose the Texans right here just because of Deshaun Watson. And J.J. Watt's turned the clock back a few years. He's turned the clock back. He scored a touchdown against the Lions. It's been a while since we've seen J.J. Watt do that. So, man, if Will Fuller's playing, I'm definitely choosing the Texans. But he's not. He's suspended due to PEDs. Performance enhancing drugs. So give me the Colts over the Texans, but Deshaun Watson will probably have a great game.
Okay. And then I guess I do have the line. It was Indy with 3.0. So they gave him a 3.0 line on that. Next up, an NFC West division matchup as Arizona hosts them Hollywood Rams. In Arizona, Mike went with them Hollywood Rams this week. Now, both teams coming off of some losses, like impactful losses. Patriots bashing
3-point losses.
Literally, actually, these are both field goal losses, last minute field goal losses that these two teams have suffered through. The line is Rams 3. They gave, ESPN gave them the 3 point line right there for the Rams. I am surprisingly going against the grain. I am feeling like after a non-division game that this Arizona team can turn it around, and especially against a team that this is going to determine who will probably sit at number 2 in the NFC West. I guarantee this, because this is a 3-headed monster right now. You got the Hawks at the top, Rams and Cardinals. Niners are not a factor right now. And I've said this from the beginning. This is a 3-headed monster in the NFC West. And this is going to determine who's going to move into that, again, it's going to change up the playoff procedure right now with the Cardinals and the Rams both in the playoffs right now. And I feel like the Cardinals have enough to get by them Hollywood Rams. I feel like the Rams are just going to kind of get on this little funk that they're on, and they're going to maybe even so much continue this funk as while Rams, they may, in the Sean McVay era, the Rams are 6-0 against Arizona since 2017. I feel like the Cardinals can bust that and not make it 7-0. They're going to go 6-1. I'm picking them Cardinals. Give me the Cactus Boys.
Man, I am on board with everything you said. It sounded great. You made some very valuable points here. But I'm going to go with the better defense in this situation. Give me the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams here over the Cardinals, even though I don't really want to. I don't want to, but I just believe the experience of Sean McVay will help him win this game over, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray.
Okay. I mean, it's still going to be a interesting, should be a great game, to kick off the afternoon session. It's a 1:05 Pacific time game. So, I mean, it's in the West Coast, so it's going to be fun. Next up on the docket is another NFC matchup because it is the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New York Jets, the NFC least leading NYG, the G boys. The Giants so far right now against the Seahawks have lost 4 straight against the Seahawks. And trust me, guys, it's not going to be a very pretty matchup. It could be a whole lot worse. The Seahawks are, at least the line is 10 for the Seahawks, minus 10 for the Seahawks. So Mike went with the Seahawks. You're up first.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks, but not for the reasons you may think. The Giants have a great defense. All right. Russell Wilson better be ready to play because the Giants have a great defense. But Daniel Jones is going to be out. He's not playing. It's going to be Colt McCoy. I don't know what I'm going to get from. Well, I know what I'm going to get from Colt McCoy watching him over the years. And I just don't see him defeating a hot Seattle team, especially with Carlos Dunlap rushing the passer like he is. That was a great trade pickup for the Seattle Seahawks. LJ Collier's coming on along now. So, yeah, give me the Seahawks over the Giants.
Yeah, same here. I'm going Seahawks. We're all jumping on the Seahawk train. This is a Seahawk team that is, probably going to beat the Giants 5 straight. The Giants right now are literally fighting for their lives to stay in the playoffs in that very low, and I can't believe we're actually saying this, competitive NFC least.
A lot of competition.
Division. A lot of it's like someone just laughing at a bad joke because they have to. It's that smile. This
yeah.
Like no one wants to admit it, but it's like, yeah, we know it's that bad.
We suck.
Yeah, it's more like,
Oh no! We suck again!
just take out the again part. All right. Next up on the docket is Green Bay hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Green Bay is been given a 9-point line on these guys.
Oh, I
on
bet
the
they have.
cheesesteaks. On the cheesesteaks. Of course, Mike went with them Packers. Went with the cheese curds over the cheese steaks. So I'll go first in this one. No surprise. I'm going with them cheese curds and going with the Packers. Philadelphia, while they may have looked trying to find the right words for this one for their last game, they played defensive. They had a defensive well. It was a good defensive game for these guys, but on the other side of the ball, it was just
Iceberg, right ahead! Thank you.
Oh my God, we killed Kenny. We killed Kenny? We killed Kenny.
yeah, it was just that kind of a game for the offensive side.
Yep.
I mean, you've said it before. You keep saying it. How bad is Carson Wentz?
He's the worst.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even think. Actually, you know what? I would think that the entire Alabama offensive unit could be better than the Philadelphia team.
Like, man, it's so bad.
By that much. Actually, you know what? I would think the entire SEC would probably beat the NFC least right now.
And
That's how bad it is. That's sad.
They're like, the whole SEC's like, we can do better than that.
You're supposed to be the professionals. How come we're better than you? Help us.
Oh my God,
But
man.
but yeah, I'm going with them cheese curds. Give me the Packers. And I'm pretty much feeling like you're gonna jump on the same bandwagon, so I'm just gonna raise my hand but I know you're gonna have the explanation, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, I have to keep in mind last year the Eagles did beat the Packers. All right, and the Packers were hot, and the Eagles beat them. Um, but I don't see that happening unless the Eagles have to buy into running the football. But I know Doug Peterson won't, so it just makes my decision easy. Give me the Packers over the Eagles because the Eagles better pack it in because they ain't going to the playoffs.
Yeah. Right now, Green Bay is 11-2 at home since 2019, the best win percentage in that span. This is going to be a Green Bay game all the way. Next up on the docket, we got the Chargers hosting the Patriots in LA. Mike went with them Chargers. You're up first on this round of the.
This is really tough because Bill Belichick gives every rookie quarterback.
Before you even get too far, the line is dead even.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
Go ahead. You're up.
Yeah. Bill Belichick gives all rookie quarterbacks a hard time. Like, I think the only one he didn't give a hard time to was Cam Newton. So he has Cam on his team, and so this is really tough. But it's something about the Chargers that, I'm like, they're going to allow the Patriots to score some points. So I'm going to take the Patriots over the Chargers.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to be on the same side here because I'm handing you a musket too because I feel like the Chargers, they've reached that point in the season where their record is giving them that look of weak. It's a weak, Chargers team for me. I mean, especially since you're in that AFC West and you're literally at the bottom of the basement. I don't think this is a team that is going to be going any further than what it is. Maybe, they're going to have a losing record. I feel like, they're going to lose out on all the rest of the division games. I just don't see them coming up and doing or shocking anybody. I think this is going to be a Patriots game this week. So give us a musket. We're going to Boston. All right, and then we have our Sunday night game. It will be KC hosting. Can we really say that they're still having no quarterback, Denver Broncos? Because it's Denver. They're hosting the Denver Broncos on a Sunday night game. But
I mean, hey, if Denver comes back with no quarterback still eligible, it's still a quarterbackless Denver Broncos.
And of course, in the famous words of our boy here,
don't care that they have a third string quarterback. All you need is a warm body to turn around and hand the ball off.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. I think I would like to nominate this again as another hands up. Yep. We got all hands up because this is going to be a KC thrashing of them Broncos in Kansas City. If this is still the Denver Broncos that have no quarterback and have a wide receiver as a quarterback, then Kansas City is just going to have a gay old time with these boys and just wipe them off the face of the earth. So Kansas City, you're going to go to 11-1, and surprisingly, ESPN's given KC a 14 spread on this, so they think highly of them. All right. Wait for Mr. Cam to get back for a moment. All right, so now we head into the Mondays. We actually have a Monday doubleheader because we are going to have a afternoon game on Monday with the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Washington whatchamacallit. Pittsburgh is hosting. It will be at 2 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, so you're going to get a double fix on Monday for a Monday night or Monday afternoon game. Mike went with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a 9.5 point line on them. Cam, this one is a you.
Well, I mean, give me Pittsburgh. That's my Super Bowl choice right there anyway. I believe Pittsburgh will, maintain and hold on and go undefeated. So I think they take care of Washington. Big Ben's done a really great job of throwing the ball really fast, not taking sacks, things of that nature, staying healthy. So, yeah, give me the Steelers over those Washington whatchamacallits.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot fault you guys, for going Pittsburgh because I'm joining you guys on the Steel train literally, this is going to be one hell of a steal for this train. Because the whatchamacallits are not going to be that effective. Big Ben is just too strong. And if you saw today's game, Steelers were the better team, bar none. And I feel like this is going to be another team that they're just going to blow right past through, and they're going to continue on and hopefully get to that perfect record by the time we get to playoffs. So we're all going Pittsburgh. And then, of course, our Monday night game. This is going to be our flex pick, our tiebreaker pick. We're going to have one more game. We're going to talk about that after we make this pick. But this is going to be our flex pick, our tiebreaker pick. It is the San Francisco 49ers, who are now in the Arizona Big Toaster, taking on the Buffalo Bills. And this one, Buffalo has been given the line of 1.5. So Mike went with Buffalo, and he has a total points of 39 for this game. So I will go first on this one. I am also joining Mike with choosing Buffalo. I feel like San Francisco got lucky. I mean, I want to say they got lucky. They got, the real good lucky this past week with that 50-yarder down the pipe. And I feel like, especially on the Monday night, not even in their own stadium, on their own turf, in their own locker room, they don't have the magic to handle Bills Mafia right now. So this is going to be a Buffalo bashing for sure, because Buffalo's going to bash them Niners and make them cry. But I'm going to go with a 30 points. This is going to be 30 points for Buffalo because I'm on the wagon with Buffalo.
I hate you because I was going to go Buffalo with the 30 points. I had did some math in my head, and I was like, yeah, 30 sounds good. So now I have to go give me Buffalo 35. Yeah, Buffalo 35, I guess. I don't want to, but, we got to hope that 35 hits, plain and simple.
So basically, you want 35 points. So basically, all of us just...
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
I'll jump to my table right now. Yep,
we're all jumping on the wagons with the Buffalo Bills for our Monday night pick. Surprisingly, it will be on ESPN and ABC this week. And then, of course, Tuesday is the last game of the night. For week 13, it will feature the Baltimore Ravens hosting them Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And Mr. Flex Mike has chosen my fine skeleton friend of Baltimore to win. Cowboy, I know you got stuff you want to say about this, so go right ahead, my man.
I don't have much to say. Basically, Lamar Jackson's going to be back. It'll give Marcus Peters some time to recover from his injury prior to today. Basically, the Ravens can run the football, and one thing where the Cowboys are known for do is giving up the run. So I think the Ravens are going to have a field day against these Dallas Cowboys. So yeah, give me the Ravens over those boys. I think the boys continue to hold steady for their draft position. The Ravens are going to come to town and leave on out. Oh no, wait. Flock of Ravens is called a murder. So yeah, there's going to be a murder here in Dallas.
Oh, it's more than likely because they're heading up to Baltimore.
Oh,
so
it's in Baltimore. There's going to be a murder in Baltimore.
Dallas is not hosting because they're heading up to Baltimore.
Oh my gosh!
Because you know why they call it Baltimore?
Because they dropping bodies.
Yeah, they dropping bodies. Well,
oh man.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly for Dallas, they're still in it. Literally. And then everybody in the NFC East is available and still in it. Everybody is a game back from each other. I mean, Giants and the whatchamacallits are tied at 4-7 with the same division record at 3-2. Eagles are 2-2, 3-7-1 in their with their record, and the boys are 1-3, 3-8 in their overall record. So everybody is within one of each other. And I feel like something could happen with the Dallas Cowboys that they could have a game. I feel like I'm going to be jumping. Wait. Okay, who spiked my drink that made me think I was going to pick the Dallas Cowboys? Heck no, I'm not picking Dallas Cowboys, especially after that freaking bashing that they had on Turkey Day. Give me Baltimore.
That's a good one.
You think I'm that crazy to pick Dallas after they just got handed their shiny butts at home on Thanksgiving?
It was a hot L. It was hot, baby.
It was hot with gravy and mashed potatoes and stuffing because the Cowboys got stuffed. Like that bird we're still all eating right now for Thanksgiving leftovers.
You better not still be eating leftovers, all right? It's like a 4-day max. Like 4 days, you got to stop eating the leftovers. You got to cut it out.
Well, depends on how big that bird was.
That's true.
Because if you got a big bird, I mean, if you got a small family, you got a big bird. That's a couple of days, more than that. Because you got mashed potatoes, you got gravy, you got stuffing, you got cranberries, you got rolls.
You better not still be eating.
You got pie.
Mashed potatoes.
You got pie. You got dessert with that. So you got Jello. You got a lot of stuff you got to eat with after Thanksgiving. Just depends on what kind of Thanksgiving. But that is going to be it for us, guys. I mean, that is our picks for the week. Oh, man. Week 13, what do you got for us? That's all we can say for say for this.
We're literally like, what's next? Bring it on. I didn't hear no bell. What's next?
Well, there's your bell. But literally, it's going to be a fun week, guys. So yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us everywhere. We're on Facebook. We own that Twitter. We are on that YouTube page. You can find us at the Flex Network 1 for your football and fantasy football needs. I will be back tomorrow for what was supposed to be this Saturday's Wrestling Week review show, but completely forgot about it because I was still in turkey mode. But I will be on next tomorrow night for the Wrestling Week in Review show. You can follow us there at FlexNet_PW Elite. You could search for us on YouTube. Just search the Flex Network and the Flex Network Wrestling for all the content for that. Be sure to follow this man of Cowboy Cam. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Cowboy Cam. It's the Cowboy Cam page, baby. I give you all the Dallas Cowboys news that you need and updates. Also upload video content there. And also you can find me on YouTube, Cowboy Cam. I got to start uploading more content. I will be doing so once the NFL draft rolls around. We'll start taking our peeks at people we want to keep our eye on and things of that nature. So yeah, make sure you go like those pages, people.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, we'll be back next week, hopefully with Mike here. Hopefully, we don't know. He may, depends on what's going on. But that is going to be it for us for this week 13 looking ahead to and our week 12 recap. Thank you guys for joining us. And of course, I forgot a podcast. We are on Spotify. We're on Apple. If we are not where you listen to the podcast, let us know. We'll get there. We'll flex on them, and we will continue to flex on it. But that's going to be it for us. That is Cowboy Cam. And I am the SnowMan, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out.